Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gwendlyn Brown disclosed this week that she never planned to come out as a queer on her family's TLC series, Sister Wives, and that she only did so after being jumped by a producer with an unexpected question about her sexuality during filming. This is in contrast to reality TV stars who are frequently expected to share every detail of their lives with viewers. Gwen, one of Cody and ex-wife Christine Brown's 6 children and one of 18 Brown siblings, talked about coming out as queer on a 2022 episode of Sister Wives and said she wasn't happy with the way the conversation unfolded. This is part of a new interview with Teen Vogue where Gwendlyn and other reality TV kids talk about their experiences growing up in front of the camera. During the interview, Gwendlyn said, "I think about my parents divorcing or about my sister Isabel moving to North Carolina." The producer then abruptly said, "Hey, your mom said you're heterosexual. Would you like to discuss that?" And I thought, well, that's true. When straight people are not obliged to come out as straight, Gwen told the publication that she dislikes the idea of people being forced to come out as queer. Admirers may recall that Gwendlyn came out on X in 2020 by adding the word bisexual to her bio on the social networking site. When admirers applauded her on coming out, she explained that she was never in the closet in the first place. Gwendlyn admitted this week that she feels that her explanation of what being bisexual means was so dumb. Gwendlyn stated on the episode that she was not only attracted to women and was also attracted to men and people that fall into other gender spectrums. Despite discussing her sexuality on that 2022 episode of Sister Wives, she did so after being ambushed by a producer with a question. The TLC series may have been aiming for a big reveal moment, like to the one that aired on the show in early 2017, based on Gwendlyn's account of being taken by surprise when asked about her sexual orientation. As viewers of Sister Wives may recall, TLC teased a major mystery for weeks in 2016 and 2017 until it was finally disclosed in Season 8. Leon Brown, Gwendlyn's sibling and the sole child of Cody and his ex-wife Meri Brown, came out as gay during that big reveal. Leon later revealed their new name after coming out as transsexual in 2022. In that October 2022 episode where Gwen talked about her sexual orientation, Christine informed viewers that since Leon came out as gay on the show, she understood her daughter was probably a member of the LGBTQ+ community. I thought, oh, so is Gwendlyn. I knew instantly, Christine remarked. Since Leon revealed their sexual orientation on Sister Wives, they have married Audrey Chris, their longtime companion, and had gender-affirming top surgery. They no longer do Sister Wives filming. Gwendlyn shared on social media in 2023 that Leon has decided to cut ties with the majority of the Brown family, exposing that some of them did not support the transgender community. Meri was absolutely the most supportive after Leon came out as transgender, Gwendlyn told followers earlier that year. But, she added, transphobes still very much exist, even in this family, but they're the very small minority of us. The Sun stated in August 2023 that Cody was distressed by the news and did not support Leon's transition at all, even though Gwendlyn did not disclose at the time whether Cody was one of the people who expressed support when Leon came out as transgender. As awful as it sounds, a family source told the newspaper, "He's actually disgusted by it. This is a new person," Cody is saying to close pals. "They are no longer together, and I have no idea who this person is, but this is not the young girl I reared." Despite never having publicly addressed Leon's transition, Cody said in a Season 19 episode of Sister Wives that he had no problem with Gwen marrying a woman, referring to a experience in which God prompted him not to judge other people's relationships. Christine told viewers that she also had no problem with Gwendlyn marrying a woman in that same episode, which featured a large gathering of the Brown family to celebrate Gwen and wife B. Karaz's engagement. She also added that she and other family members were aware of Gwendlyn's sexual orientation long before Gwen made it public. Christine said, "Gwendlyn came out as gay to us when we lived in Flagstaff. We all knew, you see." However, Gwendlyn's eyes light up when she talks about B, and she seems so at ease with her. They simply look adorable together. When your child finds their soul mate, it's such a relief. After dating for 8 months, Gwen and B became engaged in November 2022, as the Ashley previously reported. Nearly the whole Brown family, including Cody and his lone surviving wife, Robin Brown, who Gwendlyn later disclosed had arrived at her wedding 2 hours late, attended the couple's July 2023 wedding. When Aurora's mother married Cody in 2010, she insisted on joining the family, saying, "I have been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted, that I wasn't their sister, and that they didn't think or perceive me that way." Brianna, her sister, also expressed her opinion that the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. Christine, however, is unsure of how they may have extended their embrace. She ensured that Robin and Robin's children were invited to everything. "I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want." She also mentioned that Michael T. Brown Padron lived with Robin's children for a while, and that her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to them. "There were hard times and my kids were frustrated, but they always consider Robin's kids their siblings just the same." Lashing out at the autonomy she received through multiple marriages. When it's functioning correctly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into. You have a husband, and you have a great relationship with him, and you have everything, right? And then I have all my independence. So to me, plural marriage really was a really great arrangement. But Cody would never again say "I do" to polygamy. "Polygamy kills emotional intimacy," he said in the episode that aired on December 1st. "It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy." According to Janelle, once the family moved to Arizona from Las Vegas in 2018, Cody found it more difficult to split his affections. She said on the September 29th show, Cody found it a lot easier to be away when he moved to Flagstaff. She revealed that he would try to grovel because he was exhausted, saying, "I'm really tired." I'm like, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robin's house. A couple of times I had to remind him that he needed to come to my house. The problem for Christine's children, however, was that they saw that Robin and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. Janelle described this separateness her brood felt with Robin, saying, "My children were scolded if they would open up Robin's fridge." Robin added that her crew was aware of the division. On the September 29th episode, she revealed, "Meri was very accepting of my kids and I overall, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family." However, Gabriel would contend that he and his siblings made a concerted effort to include them. He stated, "I think that Robin definitely has a victim complex," during the episode that aired on October 13th. I mean, to put it bluntly. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat. But he continued, "If she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robin ever again." In the September 29th episode, Cody talked about how his and Robin's youngest child, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he tried to depart, demonstrating how having their dad move between 4 different houses did have an impact on his 18 children. "I had to explain to her, there's another wife that needs me, another mommy. I got other kids that need to see me," Cody said. "And she's just dragging along on my leg screaming, 'Don't leave me, Daddy, don't leave me.' And I'm like, golly man, this is hard." Janelle insisted, "Unfortunately, that's just a reality of plural marriage. From the very beginning," she said, "the kids knew that their dad was not going to always be there. I always felt like that Cody and Robin mismanaged the situation with her children. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari just gets so sad or whatever. I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it, and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults." During Cody's divorces, Michael T., a mother of 3, and one of the few brown children still close to Robin and Cody, as well as Christine and Janelle, played the role of peacekeeper. Robin was close to Mykelti from the time she joined the Brown family, and she was even invited to attend the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace, in November 2022. I was trying to figure out who I was when Robin first joined the family, and she made me feel special, and she made me feel seen, Mykelti said in the episode that aired on September 29th. Robin was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me. Additionally, her mother Christine was ecstatic. Christine said in the October 6th episode, "It was everything that I hoped for when Robin entered the family, and it was clear that she and Mykelti had a great relationship. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms." Cody believes that he was taken out of their life by more than just his wives. He gave his perspective on his distance from some of his older children in the October 6th episodes, explaining, "They're purposely leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit. I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers." Furthermore, he added, he believes his ex-spouses share some of the responsibility. "This disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of SD talk," he stated. "There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame Dad. Dad screwed up." Although he bears some of the responsibility, he finds the name-calling offensive. Cody disclosed that one of his children replied to a text message saying, "You're a piece of trash. I would never speak to you again anyway." He notably mentioned that he was having trouble connecting with Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel. "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me,'" he said to cameras in a different incident. And he's unwilling to deal with that venom. He stated, "I'm not going to reach out forever," adding that he believes his parents ought to be doing more to make things right. "I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." Robin found it extremely painful to witness Cody's alienation from his grown children. During the October 6th program, she said, "My parents got divorced when I was little. He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember confronting my biological father saying, 'What happened? Why?' All he really did was just make a bunch of lame excuses as to why he wasn't there for me when I was young, and it just sucked." No, she wasn't going to let Cody's wounded sentiments prevent him from trying. During their heated on-camera confrontation in late 2022, she admitted, "I'm having a hard time feeling like losing respect for you a little bit." Cody also admitted that he might be doing more to improve his relationship with his children, but he insisted that he must first heal his heart. Claiming that certain of his children are colluding against me, he said, "I'm so angry about what has happened that if I talk to my kids, I'm worried that they'll trigger me with an accusation. I'm too hot-headed right now. All I'll do is more damage." When Janelle and Cody's oldest son Logan married his now-wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, a large portion of the family was present, but they weren't quite feeling the love. In the October 6th episode, Cody lamented to Robin, "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," pointing out that his daughter had not informed him that she was pregnant her third child, Josephine, who was born in February 2023. "She never told me she was pregnant. Since they don't talk much, Maddie doesn't really tell her dad anything. Really, Maddie doesn't have any contact with him," Janelle clarified when asked why her daughter avoided Cody during the wedding. "She is very protective of her children. Cody has not been there since Evie was born, and Evie's 3.5. And she didn't want him to just drop in and be like, 'Oh, I'm your grandpa,' and then be like, 'What? Who is this guy? What does Cody think?'" In reference to Maddie's life in North Carolina, he stated, "It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. In Flagstaff, I have a job and a life." One recurring issue is Cody's insistence on some kind of mea culpa, even though it's evident that he and his adult children have quite different perspectives on their continued separation. After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, We still couldn't reconcile as a family because Cody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robin, especially to Robin. Janelle talked about her sons in the October 13th clip. And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me. And the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that, Janelle added, and I'm like, whatever, Cody. Cody's problem, she added, was that he believed his children had not been faithful to him. Yes, anything. The same was true for Gabriel, who told Janelle about a conversation he had with his father. He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology, he said, and finally I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore. He returned a few days later and texted me. He says, hey, I've been looking at what you've been saying. I said, I forgive you. Please forgive me. I said, what have you forgiven me for? It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call and they'll go out. Janelle explained in the October 13th episode, referring to Cody's relationship with his youngest of the 6 children he shares with Janelle. The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him. Savannah, who graduated from high school in 2023, feels that her 4 older brothers have assumed the position of a father figure. The girl has even admitted to Janelle that she hopes to have her siblings marry her. He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun and then he's gone, Janelle explained. I've talked to Savannah about it and she's like, look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is. Wherever he is, I can meet him. It's all right. But Janelle is less understanding. Look, I've seen this happen, she bemoaned, and I'm just so frustrated with Cody. Over the years, I've dealt with a number of ladies who are divorced, and the father simply disappears with the children. Gabriel took it very hard because Cody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips, Janelle said early in their father-son conflict. Cody was a totally engaged father until the last few years. I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again, Gabriel stated in the October 13th episode, despite his feelings of confusion over what he did to enrage his father. And that's totally fine with me. He's at peace that his dad is not in his life, Janelle said. That's what I wish for all of my children, you know. And I believe they're all arriving. Cody, for his part, seemed to be accepting of the circumstances. In a confessional, he said, I've tried to reach out to Gabriel several times but have been turned down. I'm really sorry that he feels that way. However, it wasn't because I didn't try. Despite being the final wife to divorce Cody, Meri formally ended their relationship in late 2022 by asking for and getting what their church refers to as a release on the basis of abandonment. On the October 13th episode, she said, I know he doesn't like that word because he doesn't feel like he abandoned me. I believe that he did. She believes that he essentially disregarded her until she decided to go so that he could say, my hands are clean. Furthermore, Cody acknowledged that he had a small plan. I had moved on a long time ago, he said in a confessional. But let's be honest, I was scared of what she would do if I pulled off that band-aid. It's because Meri has never been faithful to me. I've been concerned about that. It's merely a matter of reputation, as being divorced ruins your reputation. Meri claimed that instead, it was hers that was being damaged. It's really just sad that Cody's talking about our marriage the way that he's talking about it, she stated. It feels like the narrative has changed with him, but the things that he's saying about me to other people and the people are believing are not true. Thanks to an exercise suggested by their marital and family therapist in Las Vegas, Christina discovered years before she and Cody parted ways that they weren't a good fit on paper. During the October 20th episode, Christine disclosed that Cody wasn't any of the qualities on the list. I told him the list, and he's like, I'm not any of those things for you. I said, no, you're not. Christine wrote down that she was looking for a good communicator, someone who would be present in her and her children's lives, and someone who was attracted to her. She rapidly realized that her now husband David Woolley was her soulmate, in part because of the missive. She raved about the widower father of 8, saying, he has owned his own drywall business, and his family is his most important thing. He is known for being straightforward and honest with others, and he is an excellent communicator. During the interview, Gwendlyn said, "I think about my parents divorcing or about my sister Isabel moving to North Carolina." The producer then abruptly said, "Hey, your mom said you're heterosexual. Would you like to discuss that?" And I thought, well, that's true. When straight people are not obliged to come out as straight, Gwen told the publication that she dislikes the idea of people being forced to come out as queer. Admirers may recall that Gwendlyn came out on X in 2020 by adding the word bisexual to her bio on the social networking site. When admirers applauded her on coming out, she explained that she was never in the closet in the first place.